All right, so today is November 8th, 2021, and last video I did was October 30th, so it's been a bit over a week. And just wanted to show what I've done so far. Since the last video, so several different things, so it doesn't look like a whole lot was done. So I did put these little pieces in here to support the deck pieces that go in here, and likewise pieces back there. This is the rudder trunk is now in there. The cockpit well is here. You can see the sides of it there. I'm going to take a closer look at that in a second, and then these other little strips on here to support the deck pieces. So those are all in there now. In addition to that, I've worked out how I'm doing the mast step. So the forward mast, there's a piece of 4x4, which is going to be epoxied and carbon fiber into here. So basically that goes in there. This sits on top of it. The mast tube will go down and sit on top of here. So, and there will be a deck piece in here, really the bottom of a bunk that goes in here. That'll be reinforced, so that'll stiffen it up there. And then plus up here at the top, going through the deck. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of plastic tubing through there. So the plastic tubing should arrive probably tomorrow. Then that, I'll set this up so that the whole mast tube can just basically drop right through that plastic tube and sit down here. So there'll be a piece of plastic on the bottom for the mast to rotate against, a little plastic bearing in this place where this this bunk level is to give it some side-to-side support, as well as a piece down on the bottom there. So, and then a piece here at this level, and then another piece of plastic, a ring up here inside the tube, basically like a bearing to let it rotate on. So that'll hold it nice and firmly in place. The mast is raked back just slightly. So from the mast step down there to the top edge of here is really only about 3/4 of an inch of rake. So I'll set the tube up with that in mind. And then the mast should just drop in there, and that should be all set. I can't make some of those pieces until I get the masts from Forte Carbon Spars. I've ordered them. They will probably be here by the end of the year. So I can't machine those plastic bushing things to the right size until I actually get the mast and know exactly what the mast is going to be, the outside diameter. But I can get some of this stuff ready and basically fit the plastic tube in here and everything, then just pull it out, push the little bearing things into it and stick it back in again. So I can get some of that done, but I won't be able to put this actual piece in here, finish this all off until all of that's done. Just waiting for some more carbon fiber to come in to finish doing this mast step, and then that part will be stuck in place and permanent. So, but the rest of this I have to leave for a little while yet. Back here, I've done the, I've supported this, put a little extra support piece in here just because of the extra weight of the center board that I'm using is a 1/2 inch stainless steel, which is a lot heavier than the 1/4 inch aluminum that was in the original design. So the center board, and plus the center board I'm doing is a lot bigger because I've increased the size of the center board trunk. You can actually see the old centerboard trunk line there, and I've added all of this to it. So the centerboard will be much larger, probably weigh about 140 pounds. And then most of that weight will be, 1.5 feet or so below the bottom of the boat, probably about 2 feet below the water line. So that should be pretty good as far as riding moment it goes with that. So, and then this is the little cover for the 1.5 inch diameter shaft, stainless shaft that goes through there that'll support the centerboard. So that cover can be unbolted and taken out. a pin basically pushed out and the center board removed and dropped back in again and hooked up. So I'll be making a little cover eventually for the top of the center board trunk, just keep any splash from coming up. And also that way I can pin the center board at various positions. I'm going to put a hole through here, and so I can, you know, raise it up and down, and then pin it at, you know, whatever height I decide to. So this is jogged over here like this just because they need to put the round, got 8-inch round quarter turn screw caps for deck plates, basically, to allow access to a bunch of different places. But you know, places like this one here, and there'll be another one on this side, you get a little hatch thing, because that's underneath the cabin, so that's not going to get wet anyway. That should be fine. Here you can see the cockpit well, or the footwell, if you will. It's not very big, but just a little place to, like, if you're sitting, you know, sitting over here, you can place to stick your feet down in there. And then also all the water should drain to there. So if I'm pumping it, I basically stick a pump in there, and just, you know, all the water should basically come back there and be able to pump all that out. Here's the rudder trunk. So on this boat, the rudder basically goes in and comes out through here. So instead of having an outer, you know, rudder hanging over the stern or whatever, the rudder is a little bit farther forward, which is better for, you know, for waves and everything. That way the rudder doesn't come out of the water and, you know, lose its ability to steer the boat. Like, you know, if the rudder is back here way on the transom and I go over a, you know, big wave, and the rudder comes mostly out of the water, it's going to lose its ability to control the boat. So this is a little bit farther forward. This also makes it much easier than to, you know, pop a mizzen mast back here. So that's the little foot plate for the mizzen mast, which is also glass, carbon fiber and epoxy, this all in here, and the same tube arrangement and everything back here. Once the tubing comes in, and I'm waiting for the carbon fiber for that. And then this is angled back. You probably can't really tell in the video, but this goes from a, you know, this is a piece of 1.5-inch spacer in here. So there's 1.5-inch space here. This is narrower up here on this, and wider down there. So the whole board is sort of angled. The rudder's angled back that way, and I angled it a little more than what was in the design. Basically angled it as much as I could within the space that I had. And the reason for that is because this will be sailing a lot up in Maine, and there's a lot of lobster traps, and the last thing I want is like a really, you know, vertical rudder to get caught on everything. So with the rudder sloping back further like that, the trap should hopefully slide off. Also, so there's basically a rudder cassette or whatever that goes in here. So the rudder is on the bottom part of it. There's a cassette that like drops into the slot, and with the shaft for the rudder coming up here in the bow, and then I put a, you know, tiller on it, not the bow but the forward edge of it. So you'll see all that later when I get around to building that. But that's about it. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop this video now and then put the all the seat pieces in, which you can see them piled up over here on the side, and put those in, so you can see what it'll look like with that in there, and do another update after that.